Stay safe out there. We seem to have touched a nerve with you yesterday when trend spotter Marion Saltzman suggested that there was a move away from breastfeeding in public. Let's remind you, if you didn't see it, what she said.
A very good morning to you, Marion. Now, we've got a lot of emails, a lot of text messages from people a bit upset about you saying that breastfeeding in public is out this year.
It's the in public part. What I'm trying to say is people are trying to regain their sense of privacy. We feel that everything is moved into the public domain and we're seizing back private spaces. We're looking for spaces we can control that are all about ourselves, so we have more intimacy, but we're looking to get rid of the public eye and to make our own private spaces.
Just speaking up for the mums, it makes it kind of difficult.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
No, I understand what I'm saying, but what I'm really saying is that women are going to look and actually demand from things like department stores, private spaces to be able to nurse their babies. Yeah. You're not going to want to be able to walk into an office and you're going to expect your office to provide you with that space.
Marion Saltzman, what's clear is that it's an issue which continues to divide people, and we're going to look into that division deeply now. We're joined by two mothers with opposing views about breastfeeding in public, the author Helen Cowan-Taylor and writer and broadcaster Larry Turner. Also with us, Dr. Rosemary Leonard. And the first thing, Rosemary, we've got to point out is the one thing about breastfeeding everybody agrees on is the health benefits.
Yes, breastfeeding is best for your baby. The babies who are breastfed are 5 times less likely to go into hospital with gastroenteritis. They're less likely to get chest infections, ear infections. They're also less likely to get allergies when they're older. They're also less likely to become obese. And also, for the mother, it also helps you regain your figure and bond with your baby. Breast is best.
OK, with that in mind, Helen, breast is best. You've got to do it then in public, haven't you, if you're going to breastfeed your baby?
Well, I mean, there are a lot of intimate acts, but we don't do them all in public. I think breastfeeding is a very intimate act, and I mean, this is all, again, come from the United States, where it's almost as kind of a trophy sign to do it in a restaurant. You don't see this in Europe, and personally, I find it extremely unattractive to watch, even though, of course, I breastfed my children.
In public?
No, as much as, well, I didn't want to assault the other people in the restaurant. I had enough respect for other people to either go and do it somewhere else, or at least to cover myself. But I mean, I sat next to a woman the other day who opened her shirt, undid her bra, there was milk spilling everywhere, and I was trying to eat.
Well, Larry, that's the exception rather than the rule.
Well, I think most women breastfeed in public because they want to actually leave the house occasionally, and the baby needs feeding, and you have to breastfeed. And I didn't breastfeed for long, but I did breastfeed in public because I had no choice, because I was working, I was out, and I find this kind of attitude about milk spilling out everywhere, it's a totally natural act, and I don't understand why people find it so offensive, and I do think it's their problem, not yours. However, I would agree with your lady yesterday that the thing about doing anything with kids in public is that you invite other people to have an opinion on you. And so if women are retreating from breastfeeding in public, it's because they're tired of people saying, oh, have you seen that one over there, and milk spilling out everywhere? They're tired of being judged. I think as a parent, I feel judged all the time. I take my children out in public rarely because I know they'll be scolded. You go to the supermarket, people go, oh, have you seen our children?
Well, you see people kissing in public, and
people
we should be allowed to kiss
that.
in public. But there are some things you should do privately, and you know, I knew enough about breastfeeding to know what the timing was, and also if you go to a nice restaurant, you have to consider other people.
Can I also say you can actually breastfeed in public discreetly? I do think the vision of the woman who's flaunting it all, actually, even I mean, I breastfed in public. I think if you're going to do it, you should do it discreetly. Get your baby ready and just do it discreetly, not have your breasts point of view, because some people do find that provocative, and there's no need.
It seems to me, by saying women shouldn't breastfeed in public, or by criticising them for getting their bosoms out and all that kind of stuff, it's saying women should remain in the home. Once you have a child, you have no right to be in the public domain. But the practicality...
That's not what we're saying at all. It's about respect for other people. There are discreet places you can go.
It's about respect for the mother who needs to feed her child.
Let Helen talk for 1 minute.
There are discreet ways of breastfeeding. And first of all, we all know a child does not need to be fed every 10.5 minutes. Even in a restaurant, you can go into the loo and you can do it there.
Larry,
some horrible, smelly old loose satin
because you're in a public place where other people have rights too. And what this lady was saying yesterday is that we've gotten to the point where no one cares about anybody else, and it's an unattractive, intimate, and often. I don't think it's unattractive.
Might I interpose a question here as a man, the only man?
How do you feel about breasts hanging out, and milk spilling everywhere? And
I can't say I've ever seen it, to be honest. And how often? I mean, maybe I'm going to the wrong places. I don't know, but how often? How often does this?
Quite a lot.
Do you see this for it to be offensive to you?
Well, it was a trend, and you know, as a lady remarked yesterday, the reason there's a backlash against it is because finally people are saying, look, you know, I went to a restaurant, I dressed up for it, and now there's this woman spilling milk next to me.
What you say about backlash, Larry, because obviously, have you ever had a backlash? Have you actually ever had people coming up to you going, "That's disgusting, please do not do that"?
No, I did.
Or been sent out of a restaurant or anything?
No, I did once breastfeed in a radio studio because I was working and then the baby needed feeding, and it was hilarious because my male co-presenter went into total panic and the male sports presenter just cut eyes front. I'm not noticing what's happening, so they didn't. But then I had said, if you say anything, I will scream sexism, because I had a baby, I needed to work, and I think it's about freedom for women and women being able to have a life. And the idea that you can plan when a baby wants to be fed, often you can't.
Is there not also the question, though, of courtesy? And one of the rules of courtesy is that you don't make other people with whom you are in company feel uncomfortable.
Well, then we're going to say, okay, then I don't want to have somebody wearing strong perfume. I don't want to have somebody smoking near me, or have somebody drinking near me. We can make all kinds of rules for other people. I don't choose to do that. I think we actually say to other people, you know, live and let live.
But then if you choose to do that, then you have to be prepared for the fact that people complain. Why not just put your baby on the table and change his nappy in a restaurant? It's the same thing.
Okay.
Change.
You two, we are going to have to leave it there. I fear this discussion is going to go on into the green room, but thank you very much, all of you, for coming to talk to us about this, and lots of you emailing us and texting us about that yesterday. I'm sure you will again today. Still to come here.